I mean,
they're firing, sir. They're firing.
It is, isn't it? Oh, is that the lady with the S? Is that an SVR?
That's an SVR.
There is a lady of a certain age with an SVR around here.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, she goes to the gym here and there.
Huh. You have to go to the gym if you have a Range Rover SVR, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
I believe.
You do.
Not because it's heavy to drive, just because it's that kind of car. My wife's gym, the car park, is just a Range Rover Sport catalogue made real. It's weird.
It's just every option of sports.
But I took this to my wife's gym because my boy plays football there on a Saturday, so I took him down in the G, and it played well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I looked a bit like a alpha dog. Alpha dad. Look at him.
Well, was it nothing but a G thing, you think?
Ain't nothing but a G thing.
Yeah.
I do find myself mentally composing rhymes and rhythms.
Rhythms? What
about this car, because it is sort of inherently a bit gangster / a bit sort of urban music awards. It's got a kind of naughtiness to it that.
But what's weird about it is the thing that has always drawn me to the G-Wag is its build quality over everything else. I'm just drawn to its engineering prowess.
Yes, and the thing is, there's an inescapable fact about this car, and it's the fact that it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So, base is 143 and a half?
Yeah, 143 and a bit.
Ouch.
Yes, that's British pounds, which is about
now
12 euros.
This has got some options on it, the most expensive of which is this leather from their super impractical range. Yeah, it's Napa leather. And you get different floor mats, and there's a little bit of extra trimmings inside. It's £5.5 grand.
5.5 large.
This exterior paint, this red, is from the Disney range, and that's 1,750 quid. And it's not even very nice.
No, it's not very nice. I was just about to say that. It's not a very nice colour. I drove a Hyundai Kona in this colour recently, and I thought the same. I don't particularly like it.
It's just, yes, it's sort of coagulated blood colour. It's not very nice at all. So, add in all the options. Another option for you before I give you the big reveal of the actual price of this car.
Yeah.
£2,000 for the AMG driver's package, and what that gets you is the electronic speed limiter goes up from 137
to
149.
149. So it's.
I mean, I
that's
don't
not
want to
even
sound like, someone off Watchdog, but that's borderline irresponsible. A, rinsing people £2 grand for it, and B, you don't need to go that fast in this car because it's pissing terrifying.
I was going to imagine
when
doing
you're
100.
absolutely caning along, not because I think it's inherently dangerous, but it's just massive and heavy, and you get that sense of, if it all goes wrong now, dark forces are going to be unleashed.
A ton 50 in this.
Yes,
You'd be like
I
an
just wouldn't.
extremely pissed up rugby player with a tray full, like 18 pints round.
Or
and
one of those.
They're going for that full sort of fast walk wobble through a busy bar.
One of those rugby lads who can come back from the bar with 8 pints held in his hands, in his massive ham hock hands, and he just goes, just one variable will send this over the edge.
One little drip of condensation down the side.
Yes, exactly that.
Like in a beer advert, just
someone could just go dink on his shoulder, boom, the whole thing just. What have you done? You've spilt my pints, and that's it. You're in trouble. Then you're going to get battered.
You are going to get battered. Absolutely. I like the previous G-Wagen for all of its many flaws.
Well, now, so first of all, let me give you the final price on this.
This one, as tested,
is just over £157,000.
157.
157. So let's just, that's kind of the baseline from where we're working.
Yes.
This is an expensive car.
This is a very expensive car.
But you said before about quality, and it's what it reminded me, because you kind of go, it's in the back of my mind. It's one of those things I can't put it out of my mind. That, humpback,
It's no problem for this.
Well,
it's only 2.6 tons to go around
the bridge has now collapsed. But I'm thinking, it's 157 grand for, this. But really does feel very high quality.
Oh man, it's at this point, much like when you mention Reliant scimitars, someone will always chirp in and go, "Do you know who had one of those?"
Princess Anne.
Princess Anne.
Princess Anne.
I think the new Princess Anne scimitar comment
Yeah.
for car people has to be, these are made at the same place as the I-Pace in Austria.
Yes. Well, I suppose
in
really it's,
Steyr.
hey, you know that I-Pace? Made in the same factory as the G-wagen.
Exactly.
On that note, G-wagen.
Yeah.
I know they want you to call it a G-class.
Nobody calls it a G-class.
Nobody calls it a G-class.
Nobody wants to.
G-wagen.
No.
With the affected German pronunciation of Wagen.
G-wagen.
Meine G-wagen.
I realise I'm exactly the same age as the G-wagen.
Do you?
I think we were born in the same year, and we might have been the same month.
And would you say that you are tremendously well made?
I would say I am not as substantial as a G-wagen.
No, but very few things are. You're sort of into the realms of cathedrals and planets before you find stuff that's as well put together as this.
I can feel the tarmac groaning.
It's that. I mean, that's the thing. It's sort of. It feels like it's exerting a strain on other things.
Yeah.
Air is being punched out of the way.
Like that, like when Superman.
Yes, it's exactly that.
Push.
I think, in fact, if I matted this and drove really, really quickly round and round the world, I have a feeling that time would reverse itself.
Oh, would
like
you
in
create
that film.
a Hydron Collider with just a? Well, let's talk V8s.
I can't deny that.
I do
And that's
love,
in quiet mode as well. Put the noisy exhaust on.
Oh, put it in full on, like
Just gets
driving
a little
around
bit,
outside Harrods.
a little bit more NASCAR. Yes, it is driving around outside Harrods, isn't it? Let's just bring it down on the paddles.
Wow.
So we're going incredibly quickly now.
I've got to say,
Oh
I know
my
this is a.
Lord, what are we
They made a
doing?
point. They've made a point on this car by saying it shares no components with the outgoing G, apart from three things.
Well,
Which is-
absolute sense of ridiculousness
There
being
were-
one of them.
The external door handles are the same.
But... Oh, are they?
The spare wheel cover on the boot lid handle, the boot,
Okay.
that's the same.
Yeah.
There's one other thing
Let's
that's
put
the
it back in
same.
drive now because I feel like I'm ringing it
I was
out.
going to say
for
you're
no
basically
reason.
driving it around like an old policeman, 2 gears lower than you ought to be. Because it's,
What, our old policemen are the opposite of minicabbers.
oh, they're totally the opposite.
Oh, it's interesting. You drive a minicab and you go too high. See, I go too low because I used to be in the. What they always used to say on the bill. Leave it out, mate. I'm ex-job.
That's right.
Ex-job.
Ex-job.
So yes, sorry. Spare wheel cover, exterior door handles. What's the other one?
Is it the start-stop button?
Yeah,
Hang on.
that's from the new A class, I think. No,
I've
that's the
actually
new gen.
I've written it down on.
You've written it down on an old light bulb package. Strange man. Sometimes.
Here we go. 3 parts carried over.
Right,
Oh,
dual carriageway,
headlamp.
hang on. Oh my Jesus! Will you stop it, car? Why is this happening?
What?
Well, it's partly because I matted it, but I mean,
So quick.
me, it's just stupid.
It's the whole car is. That's the
I'm
thing.
having
it's
to
such-
really like ease it down now, otherwise we're going to get arrested. It's
I just feel like I should be swigging out a bottle of Grey Goose, spitting rhymes at you.
we need some fairly
In
dirty
fact-
R&B playing.
I've got a great idea.
I can't stop doing that, and yet I know I should.
If you drive it,
Which is not a bad name for a song, actually.
you drive it 3 gears lower than you should be.
I'm not. It's auto now, but it's just holding them because it thinks I want to behave like
Spalt
a
it.
tit. Spalt. See now, look, I discovered something which I don't really want to replicate. But
What,
we're coming
the
in
brakes
hot.
are bad?
No, the brakes are all right, but you can really squeal the wheels on it. Squeal the tyre. Look out. Whoa! See,
Just
traction
from
control
doing-
just from doing that, just from driving
that?
in an exuberant way.
Blooming
Is
heck.
that a speed camera up here, or is it just a sign?
Oh, I did my speed awareness course up here on the right. Just so you know.
Well, I'm certainly aware of speed and the fact that there's a lot of it. So the thing about this car and the engine in this car, apart from the fact it sounds like an absolute NASCAR inbred motherfucker of an engine, is
it.
that
I love
it's
it.
the full kahuna. It's that AMG 4-litre V8 with the hot V with the turbo.
Yeah,
middle.
Twin turbo, yeah.
Turbos in the middle, yeah.
turbos is?
Hot V is again not a bad name for an R&B track.
Hot V.
I see your Hot V, baby.
Oh yeah, but
I'm riding in my Jeep, baby.
Cardi B would immediately do some sort of collaborative.
I can't take Cardi B seriously because when I hear the word Cardi, I think of cardigan.
I think of Bacardi.
Oh, see, you're much more urban than that.
Bacardi B.
Bacardi B. See, I think of cardigan B. Someone who orders their cardigans by some kind of alphanumeric system. There's not much time till this corner. I was going to go for an overtake, but there's an IQ. Just because I can, just because I can smoke people.
What's your average MPG one?
Oh, don't even ask.
It's supposed to be.
Do you know what it does around town? Well, I've noticed it's been doing it. I mean, I know it's marking its own homework with this thing, but computer says round town about 8 miles to the gallon.
8?
Yeah, bad traffic in London, 8 miles to the gallon. Hello, sir.
That's naughty.
This morning, trundling up the A1 to come and see you.
Yeah. Anywhere near 21?
16.
16. Dirty.
So it's using a lot of juice. But what I was going to say is that it's the look now we're running on 4, so you can do that thing where it runs on 4.
So
there's a little thing comes on and tells
it's
you
knocked
that.
4 pistons out,
And you can hear it just gets a bit lumpier. Now it's dropped back onto 8.
Does it use the photosynthesis to make you think that it's still running on 8?
Photosynthesis.
You know, the
photosynthesis.
the symposium synthesizer.
The symposium. I'm going. This is a very languid overtake because we're really.
Body
really
control is noticeably better. It feels like there is some level of control.
It does, but this one has to be. So yeah, this is the full fat version of that engine. This is the one they put in the AMG GT. It's not the watered down 500. This is the 577, I think it is.
Yeah.
Which is madness. They just went, no, it's 570. It's not enough.
Yeah, and to that end, you can only buy the G63 AMG in this country.
Yeah, they're not going to, because there's a G500 which also has what I would say on paper is plenty much power. But
yeah,
it's like 400 and almost 500, isn't it?
Yeah,
not coming here yet.
And up till now, I have always said that my most enjoyable G-wagons have always been the lower ranking cars because they make more sense. I always thought the C350, the G350 CDI, thought it was a great car because it had enough power.
I once borrowed a G350 diesel.
Yeah.
When they started bringing them back to this country, in old shape. I wasn't a massive fan, but it attracted the attention of my colleague Jeremy Clarkson. He went, "Why has that come from?" And I said, "We're starting to re-import them. They're importing them again."
Yeah.
That's interesting. And so he booked one in from the press fleet.
See,
a few weeks later, and he was driving it, and he came into the office, and he went, "That G-wagon you had, you neglected to mention one thing. It's terrible." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I did forget to tell you that." And I agreed with him. Oh, that was terrible.
You thought it was terrible?
Yeah.
Because it's diesel, or just because of that?
Just because it's and then my more recent experience with the old shape G-wagon, I was in one in Germany, and I wasn't driving because I'd been to a party after the Frankfurt Motor Show, and I had a terrible hangover. So I let a renowned helmswright of our acquaintance drive, and you know, some people you just totally trust their driving.
Yeah.
They're just people who know what they're doing, and you don't have to sort of keep an eye on. Go, what's up over there?
Yeah.
Just one of those people. I go, he's got this.
Yeah.
And it was a wet day, in fairness. And we're in Germany. We pulled off the autobahn onto a slightly winding road, and the first big-ish corner we came to in the wet, I was kind of half dozing and wishing the big split down the front of my head would go away, and I just suddenly heard him go, "Oh my God!"
Because he was leaving the road.
It was, and he wasn't really tanking it. It's just that that car's handling was terrible. And that was in a G. Well, would that have been a G63 then, or they? I can't remember what they were badging them then.
I think they were calling them a 63. This was what? How many years ago? 7 years ago?
Yeah.
8 years ago. I've been reading that next summer, so 2019, they're going to bring in a diesel version to the UK.
Whoop-de-doo.
Which, and I can understand why they've just brought this one in, because most people that buy 150k's worth of hand-built,
yes,
brick shithouse.
That's the interesting thing, isn't it? It is still hand-built.
It is,
and
it is.
And it's sort of, but hand-built as in it feels lovingly crafted, rather than hand-built as in nothing fits properly. It's kind of, it's proper, isn't it?
But you're a Defender man, right?
Well, this is the thing. I know I got distracted
because I was just about to say, as a Defender man, when these were on sale, the previous ones were on sale, I always looked at the entry-level 90 grand diesel and went, you're starting model is 3 times a top spec Defender.
Yes.
Three 110 station wagons with some options.
Yeah. I mean, I cannot explain this because I love Defenders, have a Defender, will defend a Defender, even though I know they're crap. every reasonable measure, a Defender is crap.
But
And I love them. I love Defenders, and I did not like the old G-wagen at all. I just thought it was crap, but crap without any sort of redeeming. And it's almost because it's like they kept updating it. And some people go, why didn't Land Rover keep updating the Defender?
yeah,
But sort of Land Rover's kind of brumming idleness about keeping the Defender updated is sort of what makes it endearing. It's like they weren't trying too hard. And I always felt the G-wagen was trying too hard.
do you?
Yeah.
See, I had an irrational
Just
love
sort
of it.
idiotic life support. It's like either just let it date to the point where it's comical, like a Defender.
Yeah, like a Lada Niva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do something new. And lo, they've done something new. But it's
This
a loving facsimile of what went before, just with improvements underneath.
it
And
is.
so-
It is like, you know, when the Chinese copy a 3 Series and they say, "Oh, honestly, it's not a 3 Series.
Yes.
It just looks really similar."
Yes. Mercedes have copied themselves slavishly.
I mean,
It's a little bit wider, a little bit longer, and the chassis. I mean, everything's new. Isn't
It's
it?
all
As you said,
new.
it's like,
It's-
the chassis is brand new.
It's all new.
There's less sense that it's sort of twisting
Yeah.
under acceleration.
But
what
it
I
is
can't-
fabulously similar.
It is
aesthetically.
incredibly similar. It's like what Mercedes have done is rebuilt Durham Cathedral,
Yeah.
but it looks exactly the same as Durham Cathedral, and they just made it slightly better insulated. If you look closely, the windows are now double glazed, but otherwise
haven't.
it's Durham. No, not the windows of this. I'm talking about the mythical. Well, are they double glazed?
They are double glazed. Yeah, they are.
Accidental metaphor / reality.
Yeah, so they've rebuilt Durham Cathedral because George Clark has said it has to be thermally efficient.
That's what it is.
So it is.
But at the same time, they've kind of willfully kept some of the things which they don't have to keep. So the way the doors slam on this, I mean, they need a proper slam.
They remind me of a car that you also hate, an early Beetle, where you have to slam the door in excess of 3 times to get the right amount of force. Because it's cocooned, it's hermetically sealed, it won't let you.
Also, like those Beetles in any car that's super sealed, if you don't realise that someone else has got a door or a window open, and then you give it the usual strength of slamming it, bang!
Oh, it's like a
sorry everyone, sorry, I overslammed. I didn't realise the air pressure had been raised.
Yeah, there has to be a one door slam scenario.
Roundabout again. Oh, no squeal, that was a bit more gentle, but whoa. So this is, I mean, my issue is, you said, the body control feels good compared to the old car, and the handling is good compared to the old car, the steering is good compared to the old car. It's all good.
Yeah. ...
compared to the old car. It's not
Good.
actually good. Let's not kid ourselves.
Well,
that.
Yeah, but compare that. If I was spending 100 grand, 90 grand on a Range Rover right now,
Yes.
I still think they go around corners appallingly bad.
Oh yeah.
And I don't enjoy driving a Range Rover. So
Don't you?
No, and I certainly wouldn't enjoy buying one for 90 grand and in 3 years it being 40.
Well,
so therefore I would buy this for 145 and I would keep it. I think this is one of these cars you buy and we will keep this in the family for 15 years. And in 15 years someone is still going to be begging to buy it off me for 80 grand.
That's true.
They will.
That's true. No, in that respect it's closer to the Defender, which holds its value in a way that Range Rovers don't.
You got this mad 12.3 inch pair of displays.
Oh, it's all here.
It's all E-Class.
It's all modern, but
it's silly. I know it's irrational and silly.
I know.
It's so silly.
I sort of,
But I love it.
I want to enjoy this car more than I do,
Yeah.
and I can't explain it properly. It's like
You with this is what I'm like with Defenders.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy a Defender more than I do. I love looking at them, and I love like tinkering with them and maintaining it, but I don't want to live with it every day. There's one other fact about this car which I'm going to consult my piece of light bulb cardboard because it was the only thing.
I'm sort of admiring. Apart from anything else, it sort of feels like you've kind of got some kind of deranged ecology going on here that rather than, oh, it's a waste of good cardboard here, I'll use it to write things.
I've inherited my dad's just grab the first thing that comes to mind and just make lists. There's one thing about this car that I just don't quite no, there's many things I don't entirely understand about this car, but there's one thing that I don't get. The rain gutters are false.
Aren't they?
They are.
I noticed that when I went to try and look on the roof, and I went to grab the rain gutter.
And
don't
it
ask me
felt
why I was looking on the
flimsy.
roof. Well, there was nothing to grab onto.
No. It was all
'Cause
rounded off.
Have you noticed the roof rack mounts
I haven't
are
actually.
little blanking plates in the roof? You can't see them from there. They're on top.
Oh gosh, I love this faux Alan Cantara stuff.
The gearbox is really good, as modern autos tend to be. But what I like is that as you slow down some traffic lights or something, you know, most modern engines being so quiet, you don't really, you're vaguely aware it's changing down as it's coming up to the hole. With this, you hear it because it goes.
Does it?
Yeah, just
Is
as
it like
little,
a dog? Well, you know, when big dogs sleep,
it's very like a big
they're
dog.
not snoring. They're just breathing heavily.
Or my dog has started doing this thing, and she's only started doing it in the last year. It's like she's sort of entered dog middle age, and she's developed, as people do, some funny little habits. And she does this thing now, where it's like she's realised that it's a bit annoying. If she wants to go out, she goes up to the back door and goes ruff, 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 because no one wants to hear her yapping away. But now she'll just do this thing where she just goes. She grunts. She just goes up to the back door and she goes. And it's just her way of going. Can I go out, please?
It's clearing the throat and
And
pointing.
this car does the same thing. It just goes.
Yeah.
When it changes down,
It's just to go. Oh, just so you know,
It's just-
I'm
yeah.
G63.
yeah, but it's just that, and it's sort of because it's a very warm sound.
Well,
the engine there in this car, isn't it? It's
I-
very
I-
sort of lovely kind of like.
I love the 4-litre V8 twin turbo hot V. When it was brought in and everyone went,
I'm just going to turn down here.
oh,
so
the
I can
6
show you.
the 6.2. Oh gosh, it's the best engine. It's never going to be better. And it's like, I actually disagree with you. I think the 4-litre twin turbo is a fine engine.
You know, you see
You're going to try and make it exhale. I do like the sound of it.
See there? Did you hear it? See the little change downs. Can I go out in the garden, please? I need a wee.
It's like, can you imagine Robbie Coltrane having 30
Oh my
minutes?
god, you see, look, traction control cut in again because something was happening that it didn't like. And then, the steering gets a little bit tight when you really. Because I guess diffs are doing, you know.
Yeah.
Diffs are doing diff shit.
Oh, rare car.
Oh my goodness.
Citroen
Citroen C6.
C6, I like them.
And car that did not ride as well as I thought it should have done.
But the back window shape made
That's
you
lovely.
forgive it for everything.
Now the ride in this,
This is boaty,
it's boaty.
but not
isn't it?
as boaty as
It's just,
Wolf.
it's busy. It's jittery. Not jittery. I mean, there's again, it comes back to this feeling that it's an incredibly high quality car.
Yeah.
Is that it smashes bumps, but you're aware that it's always up to stuff down there.
Yeah.
The axles are always moving around, and I know it's got a new design of I think it's a 5-link at the back, isn't it? And there's a wishbone at the front, and it's all new.
I know it's got 3 real clutches.
3 real clutches.
Yeah, apparently.
How
I think
many
it's
clutches
got,
do you need?
well, it's got one on the front axle, one on the back axle, one on the transfer box.
I sort of feel like for many people, particularly in urban environments, this is a cool car.
Yeah. It is.
I've been driving this around for almost a week, and I think it's partly the colour. I don't particularly like this colour, or
Yeah.
the light interior. It's a bit.
It's
a
not
bit
how
tarty.
you'd want it. No.
No. I've had a brief go in another one of these, which was sort of olive green with a tan interior, and I have
Oh.
to admit, it looked mega.
See,
It
that would
absolutely
be my cup
great.
of chai. Yeah, yeah.
But driving this around London and then coming up here to see you, I'm slightly self-conscious. I think that's the problem. It makes me
Do you
self-conscious.
feel
this
like
car.
a bit of a bell, or
I feel like, yes.
You know these wing top indicators
Yes.
that have always been there, and they're like markers almost, aren't they?
Yes.
Wing markers.
Yeah,
I love them.
yeah.
They remind me of Beatles as well. On this model, this new revised G, apparently they disappear inside the wing or the bonnet if you have a frontal impact.
What?
I read that and I couldn't quite work out what they meant. I mean, do they disappear like the Rolls-Royce Phantom Spirit of
So
Ecstasy?
they just snap off.
Or they're designed to break free? But they're not even sharp, are they?
No, you think they could just make them out of slightly squidgier plastic, but maybe then the street youths would keep squidging them or something.
If I was a pedestrian, the least of my worries would be the wing top indicator.
Yeah.
It would be the rest of the car.
This might be another reason why I can't fully enjoy this car, because in the back of my head I keep thinking, what if I hit something or someone? It just feels like a very brutal car. And again, I know that doesn't make sense because I've got a Defender which would do a lot of damage to anything it hit. But
Well, how much does your Defender weigh?
it's they measure it in horses. It's not. There's no kilo rating. I don't know is the answer. They're not quite as heavy as you might think, but then they haven't got as much stuff on them as this has.
They've got to be 2 tons, haven't they?
Oh look, I can see some lumpy bits coming up. Look, there's a bit of a crest.
Oh,
just
good grab
It's a
handle.
good grab handle. That's not
It's
coming
got
off.
wood inlay and it's got soft leather stitching as well. That's a hell of a handle. I could hang a very large bathroom towel on that. A wet one.
That's, I think, yeah,
Wet towel.
not a bathroom towel, but I think a hand towel, just for... Yes, I'll be honest, I'm Helms writing a little bit now, and I could probably do with a hand towel. I'm getting slightly clammy palms, because look at this, I'm going through here.
That's what it's for.
I'm just feeling like, yeah, well, a Helms writes towel.
Yeah. If you're a brave enough lady or gentleman to get on it in a G-wagon, in the lanes, you need a hand towel to mop it around. You know, like a singer on stage who says thank you between songs and then sips
Or like
a little
Meatloaf.
glass. Yes,
Meatloaf always has a towel with him.
And I tell you who else does. He's turned into a
towel.
He's a bit of a salad avoider. Michael Ball.
Oh yeah, he needs a towel, doesn't he? He really does towel down a lot.
Michael Ball will not ever go on stage without a small towel.
He's got a very barrel-like torso, hasn't he? That's where all the noise comes from.
Sport Plus.
Put it in. Do I have to? No, because I'm a bit worried that'll be too stiff.
Just put it in Sport then.
Sport.
So you have your exhaust. ESP is still on.
Exhaust is in balanced. I'll put it in powerful.
Does balance mean?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do this because there's a fan coming.
Mother of Jesus! Oh, there you go. 4 and a bit seconds.
What? Oh my God! I didn't look down until then, and we were doing a speed that is illegal.
That's so quick for what is essentially a porter cabin. It's a really
porter cabin that suddenly the back of it appears to collapse. What's going on?
There was a good level of hydrofoil.
Yeah, everything just slid off my desk. What's happened? Oh, sorry, someone's pressed the accelerator in the porter cabin. I'm just going to do that one more time because it did actually amuse me, but also alarm.
Is it 4.5 seconds to 62?
So no, there's a 40 zone up here, so we're going to do this really quickly and then. Whoa! There was some.
That's 60. That's 65 before the 40 zone.
And then, God, it stands on its nose as well. It really does that. You stupid car! What is wrong with you? Oh. Do you know what the thing about this car is?
I like this.
It's. If I said I'm having fun manhandling this car cross country, I would be lying.
Oh, you're not enjoying it?
I'm not enjoying it.
Aren't you?
It's just work. It's just work. I'm slightly on edge because I just think, is it going to cope with all this? And it is. In
What
fairness
about
to
if
it.
you had a Sunseeker on a trailer behind
or even even Skepta's little sailing boat.
I think Skepta.
Or one of Stormzy's jet skis.
Yeah, well, I was
the thing
gonna
about
say-
grime artists is they all. Oh fuck me, no! I'm going to slow down.
They love a jet
I'm going to
ski.
slow down. I'm not enjoying this at all. Holy
It's
shizzle!
quite a rough road.
It's
really.
a rough old road, and this is not enjoying it any more than I am. Car. I'm
What
sorry.
parts of this car are aluminium? There are some panels.
The bits of this car that are aluminium are all back at the factory, are they not?
Are they?
I don't know. I haven't checked. It feels like it's made of heavy things.
It's mostly steel.
I'm going to Put it in. No, I'm not going to put it in Sport Plus. No need. Why does it have a Sport Plus mode?
Sport Plus is too hard for most of the AMG sports cars, but for this it would be just.
It was just work.
The other thing I like about this is the fact that we all know it should have died years ago, and it still has a flat windscreen.
I know,
it still has a flat windscreen.
They're rebuilding Durham Cathedral. They don't need to do this. This is what's weird about it.
Oh.
And this is perhaps why I can't quite enjoy it as much as I should. It's faux.
Would you like Tony Robinson to do a really in-depth time team on it?
To start excavating under the floor mats?
Yeah, and get an old one.
But that's the thing, you see. He'd find a coin and then he'd go, oh, wait a minute, this is just a 10p because actually everything in here is modern. This isn't the site of an old Roman fort. This is the site of Mercedes just put some Roman ruins here.
Yeah.
And they did it last week.
They did.
Why have they done that?
Yeah.
Mercedes, stop fucking around with Tony Robinson.
Oh.
But I'll give you another example. No, it's just exhausting.
Slow down. Just slow down in it. I love the G-ness. I don't like the AMG-ness.
Just what you're saying is you like this car unless it's moving along.
I like this car when you just drive it really slowly and you haven't got any sporting ambition at all.
We should have just gone to London and cruised around East London, being urban.
What triggered the sort of urban aspiration of the G-wagon?
Because it looks like a Tonka toy.
Is it because it's the military?
That's why people like these cars.
Military roots.
People like Defenders.
Yeah.
People like these. People like the Suzuki Jimny.
Yeah.
Big, square, chunky cars play well in urban environments. And there's a practical reason for that, which is that actually there's an MG6. Why are there so many MGs around here?
There's an MG dealer around, but there we drove past.
Oh, right.
There's still not a reason to buy one.
No. Defender I get let out of everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just, and people are jaunty.
It's a friendly character
car. It's a friendly character car, yeah. People like it, they're unthreatened by it. And it's funny, in this, no one lets you out of junctions.
So
people think you're a bit of a bell.
It's imposing.
I think the people who think it's cool are people who aren't in other cars.
Right.
And I don't know whether that's just because people who think it's cool are in fact children, or people who are so urban they don't own a car. Or if it's that once you're in another car, this becomes a very threatening thing.
Yeah.
Because I was on the A1 this morning, and I'll be honest, I was driving like a bit of a ring because I was late, and I was steaming up behind people. You know, normally, if someone's sort of a bit dithery in the outside lane, you kind of give them the benefit of the doubt and then let them move in.
Yeah, you weren't.
I was getting a bit close. I'll be honest. On a couple of occasions, I basically bullied people out of the way because this thing, there's this big, ruddy brick of a car in their mirrors. And have you noticed it's got the daytime running lights are circles around the edge of the headlights?
I have noticed.
Like on that taxi we had to go in.
It is like a taxi. I actually think the front end, when I saw the release photos of it, I was disappointed. Seeing the car in the metal, I think the front end is better looking than the pics. And it's.
I like it. I mean, that's the thing. I love the way it looks. I was expecting to absolutely adore this car because it struck me as it looks great, and I've always liked the way they look.
Yeah.
But now they've sorted out the way it drives, and yet they sort of haven't.
But you like cars purely because of the way they look.
Oh yeah, of course I do.
We all do.
Everyone does.
So I mean,
you'd be lying if you said you didn't.
I think as long as you don't even try and drive this in a performance way, and for me personally, I would never order the AMG version because it's too. I don't like the side pipes. I think that's all irrelevant.
Yes, side pipes. They are crass. I mean, they're amusing, but they're crass. That's sort of a lot of this car. Side pipes is the equivalent on a car like this of wearing tracky bottoms and then popping a dirty little blue pill to make your flute bigger. So everyone goes, I can blatantly see what's going on down there. You've got a semi and you're wearing tracky bottoms. That's what that is. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Nobody does Viagra with tracky bottoms on. Nobody. We have to conclude this review by basically agreeing to disagree. Well, although we agree on some things. But I'm sensing that you sort of do agree with me. It's just that then you assess all of the aspects of this car and go, but I still like it.
do still want one, but not as an AMG, as a non-AMG.
So yeah, I don't hate it at all. Like, there's bits of it I like. I mean, how could you not like the engine? It's ridiculously amusing.
I think it's one of the, well, it's the most interesting application of the AMG engine for sure. And I think, I mean, there's no denying that it sounds great because AMG know what they're doing. But I don't want it in this car. I want a different flavour of engine in this car.
You see, we are going to disagree on this then, because I sort of think this absurd engine in this wobbly big house brick is sort of part of the appeal. It's ridiculous.
Well, what do you think of the recent Defender V8 SVO thing?
Yeah, you see, I like that. I've not driven one, but I like it. I like the idea of it. I think partly as well because that really is ridiculous. But maybe this is why I'm not so keen on this.
I think that is silly and not even cool, and I think that this is silly, but it is cool. And the reason why I can't believe that that's cool is because I know the Defender is so bad.
Yes.
Suddenly putting a rotary dialed 8-speed gearbox into the old one.
But that's the thing.
What?
That's the thing. They know. The people who came out of that car, they know. They must know. They know it's ridiculous. There's a part of me that thinks with this, I can't work out how much sense of humour's inside it.
Oh, there's no humour here.
I feel like there's no humour.
No, there's no humour here.
I feel like it's been done very seriously. This is the best they can do, but there's no sort of... Yeah, come on, guys. We're all just having a laugh here. I think they're very, very seriously just trying to make a good car.
The head of Mercedes-Benz off-road division.
Yes.
Can you remember his name? But he's referred to as Mr. G.
Oh.
Because his surname and his Christian name start with G.
Right.
He's called Gunther, I think, or... Well, I've got it written down on a piece of paper.
Good for him, but...
He's called Gunnar Gwethenk. Gunnar Gwethenk.
Is he Welsh?
Gwetenke. His name's Gunnar.
Yeah.
And he's the head of the Mercedes-Benz off-road division, and he's referred
Have you met him?
No.
No.
Have you?
I mean, no, but I just wonder, is he a laugh a minute, or is he... That's the thing. The Defender V8, apart from the fact they're only making a few of them, aren't they? But it's also, it's so ridiculous that it's obviously, I wouldn't say a joke, but it's... If you said to the person who invented that, or the team behind it, are you serious? They'd go, no.
Yeah.
If you said to the team behind this, seriously? They'd go, yes, seriously.
Actually, you know what?
Completely seriously. Why would it not be serious?
Now that you're mentioning it, at least the Defender is harking back to a time when you could buy a petrol V8 one.
Yes, I suppose so.
When this came out, it was never available with the V8 originally.
No.
It was always straight 6 action.
But that's the thing. So my question to you is, why would you have this fundamentally rather silly contrived car and take away the silliest part of it, which is this absolute beast of an engine?
It's build porn. It's build quality. It had me as soon as I had to shut the door 4 times.
Yes,
it
I
had
see
me,
that, but
because
again,
I just
contrived. It doesn't have to be like that. They've made it like the old one had to be like that, I think.
Yeah.
This one, they've willfully made something a little worse than it needs to be, because it's sort of a personality trait of this car, and that maybe is why I'm not sort of down with it.
I am just constantly fascinated.
No, the build quality, I'm
constantly fascinated with it.
It's delightful. The build quality is definitely delightful. The finish
got all
generally.
The familiarity of all the normal Mercedes that normal people would buy. That. And then you look up and go, we're in a shoebox.
An enormous amount of headroom. And the sides are very flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I sort of...
It isn't anything but a G thing, as someone once said.
It's got a personality, definitely, and it's quite amusing, but sometimes people with big personalities can also be twats.